An absolute rout happened at the hands of the Crab 5D. Maryland wins 81-49 over Grand Canyon. This was a game that, I mean, did we pencil in it could be a little bit competitive? Like you might see a little threat from the Los, maybe a little run. It was over as soon as it got to 30-13. That was when I kind of knew, like, yeah, it's probably curtains on this one. It was a little back and forth at first, as a lot of these games are, but it was just Jacoby Gillespie on that step back jumper that stretched the lead to 17. The Terps just didn't look back after that. What'd you see it like that just led to such a dominant win for Maryland?
I just think they're really good. The Crab Five special. I mean, I don't know if maybe I'm the only one that saw this rumor, and maybe I'm just like like actually like saying something that's I got duped on Twitter. But the rumors about Willard to Villanova, and I do think Will Wade was alluding to it in his press conference where he's like, Villanova's trying to buy out a coach that's in the NCAA tournament. I don't actually think he was talking about himself. I actually think he was talking about Willard.
Yeah.
But I mean, the way they stuck together, if those rumors are true, whether they're true or not, they saw them, right? Like that in the world of the online aspect of things. And
Hmm.
they were able to stick together. Derek Queen is special. Julian, as I will be calling him,
Not Juju.
also, yeah, no, Julian is also good. And shout out to Willard. Crazy idea, Mike Woodson. Maybe surround two phenomenal bigs with a bunch of 40% three-point shooters and see what happens. They play really well together as a team. I've been saying this for a little while. I cannot quit Maryland. I want to divorce them so bad because every time we get high, it's toxic. They break my heart again, and I'm like,
Yep.
I'm leaving, and then I stay, and I stay, and I stay, and I stay, and I'm sticking around because I love this team.
It sounds a little bit like you're Rihanna, and this is Eminem's "Love the Way You Lie" playing out, and Kevin Willard in this case is a a hairless Eminem who keeps tracking you back in. I'm
Well,
leaving you. No, you ain't. That's
I'm
what
only
Willard
getting
says
one
to you
thing
every
clear,
time.
and I respect what Eminem's done. Ain't nobody listening to Eminem anymore.
I know. I'm sorry for the dated pop culture reference, but okay, low key.
No, but you're right.
Why
Though.
recovery was a moment in 2010
For who?
for private school kids in Charlotte. Let's move on.
Respect. Respect.
Even like to speak to those Willard Villanova rumors, I'm almost workshopping a take that like if rumors start to leak out, your coach is taking a new job, it motivates your guys because we're seeing Will Wade gets McNeese to play the game of their lives against Clemson. We see Nico Medved, who's taking the Minnesota job. Those dudes weren't giving up when they like ran into a little adversity against Memphis. And then this one, like Grand Canyon is a good mid-major. They fell short of expectations. Going into the year, they were expected to be like a top 60 team in the country. Because they were a team that like they won a tournament game last year. They had Alabama on the ropes, Alabama Final Four team last year, and we're getting great production out of Tyon Grant Foster and Ray Harrison. Brought both those dudes back, and I think Bryce Drew's a really quality coach who's done it at a high level, albeit like the winless year at Vanderbilt. Let's skirt past that, but yeah, like they fell short of their expectations, but it's still a really solid team. And to come out and win this game by 30 to hold them under 50. Like Tyon Grant Foster was the only player on Grand Canyon who scored in double figures, and he did it all in the first half. 16 in the first half, 1 for 7 in the second, 4 turnovers down the stretch. Like to me, all of those turnovers were you could tell it felt like that Maryland just completely sapped the energy out of Grand Canyon. And going back to what you're saying for Woody to take notes from Kevin Willard, when you have a bunch of shooting, but you have like the gravity of the bigs, I feel like it allows you to lean into the strengths of the bigs, so you don't have to worry as much about spacing and going through offensive lulls, and you can get the most out of your bigs to like just wear down on their opponents and beat them up and just like overwhelm them. And you could tell by the end of that game the looks on Grand Canyon's faces was like, I really have to keep going against these guys. Like Willard, man, come on, you're up by 20. Dude, can you sit Derek Queen? Like Derek Queen's really got to still play over 30 minutes. I got to be beat up by this guy all game. Like Queen is such a monster, man. He's such a freaking joy to watch. But yeah, like you could just tell that this Maryland team, it's I kind of love when we're seeing like this resurrection of twin tower lineups both at the college game and in the NBA, and it works because you get some versatile bigs.
Yeah, I don't like the Twin Tower like lineups. I got to be honest. I'm a 4 out 1 in guy. I always will be. But I do like that Willard is trying to meet in the middle. He's like, hey, I like having two bigs, but I'm willing to admit we have to have some shooting. There's
Yeah,
some coaches,
right.
like Woodson, who don't want to at least meet in the middle. And if the growth is two big lineups with a lot of shooting, I definitely can get behind that.
Yeah,
I
for
definitely
sure.
can get behind that. It's just like I don't want to see a million post ups, and it's like, who are we about to kick out to? Like, all right, man.
Okay, I agree with you on that. Because the Twin Towers, let me rephrase this. I like when Twin Towers involve skilled bigs.
Hmm.
I like Florida, for instance, when one of those bigs is Thomas Houck or Alex Condon who can pass and make reads and make good decisions. Or like Amari Williams at Kentucky. I think that makes it really fun when you have bigs who can play on the perimeter who are still like seven footers or like pushing that or whatever. With Maryland, I would say, Reese is more of the post up guy. You kind of know what you're going to get with him, but because of Derek Queen's skill set, it's like you're not just getting a ton of post up moves. I love when they get him at the free throw line and just let him make reads or from the top of the key. He's such a gifted passer and just makes winning plays. Like that dude, I don't really know what his role is going to be at the next level. I don't really even know what kind of comp to give him, but like that dude's a lottery pick to me, or I don't know ball at all because it doesn't really matter what his position. Like he is a ball player. It's simple as that. He's going to be productive. He's going to make winning plays, and yeah, Maryland fans enjoy this run because it could be special on his way out.
We're talking about Derek Queen, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, he's definitely a lot up there. I think he's gonna be closer to top 10. I just got yeah, he's to me, he's been getting deemed in like the NBA draft, like Twitter circles, like baby Jokic, which I think is interesting. I don't hate the comp. I don't love it, but I don't
Yeah.
hate it. I don't hate it.
I mean, I think that's the vision when you factor in his playmaking, and he's kind of a below the rim player. I wouldn't say he's a bad athlete, but he's not going to blow you away as a lob threat. But he's just so skilled and fundamental, and like does all the right stuff. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just anytime you compare someone to Jokic, I feel like it's unfair because probably the best player on the planet.
Man, Jokic is the epitome of put somebody on a 16 seed, they win a national championship.
I agree. I think that's I think that's what happened. Um, but yeah, anything else to take away from this Maryland team as they prepare for a second round matchup against the Colorado State team that is won 11 in a row, is playing really physical defense that doesn't seem like they're going to back away from a challenge.
I just think they're really good. We got to start talking. I think the Big Ten got gypped on seedings all around. Like obviously the focus was on Michigan because they won the tournament and then subsequently got a 5 seed, which was crazy. Michigan, I mean Maryland, I want to say is also like top 10 on KenPom, and
Hmm.
they got a 4 seed. Oh, excuse me, they're 11th on KenPom and they got a 4 seed. Like I definitely think Maryland's closer to a 3. I think they could have squeaked a 2 seed out of it, maybe, but obviously they lost on a game winner to Michigan, which I think hurt them more than Michigan winning the tournament
Hmm.
gained them anything with the committee, which is crazy to say. But I really just think like we just saw a team that was seated too low, punish a team that's also pretty talented, but Maryland's not your typical 4 seed.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Um, should be a good matchup. We will have that full preview up on the channel by the time you're hearing this. Excited to continue to see Jacoby Gillespie in March too. He kind of strikes me as a guy who has a feel for the moment. Even that step back he hit that I mentioned at the top of the show, like you can see it in his eyes. He's been waiting for something like this. So whole crab five, a lot of fun, a lot of skill around those two bigs, a lot of shooting, and just a fun team to tune into. Enjoy it, Maryland fans. We'll be back discussing your next matchup.
It is March, and that means that March Madness is upon us. And if you are looking for a place to play, Underdog Fantasy has you covered. Sign up and deposit using code SLEEPERS, that's code SLEEPERS, to receive up to $1,000 in bonus credit plus a free pick. Head over to Underdog Fantasy today and use promo code SLEEPERS to take advantage of this amazing offer.